Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, my neighbors. Let's get this going.
Top of the morning.
It's good, 88 bars.
Was it a long weekend or do we just have Thursday off?
Yeah, I guess. I don't.
It was a long week. Well, extended, however.
K Styles. Yep, everybody's up. There we go. Shout out my guy K Styles gonna hold it down last night. There we go. Let's get this going. Best place to be on the Monday morning. Yes, sir. That. There we go. As we get everybody in there. Oops. Try to screenshot. We'll get it in. All right, more people. Fuzi Hype was good, my brother. Let's get everybody in here. Do me a favor, though. Send this out to your immediate circle. Send this out to everybody who you interact with on social media. Also, to our YouTube family. What's up? Good morning, everybody. We want to make sure that, we show you guys love too. We go on the IG Live just to inform everybody that we are... Today I actually feel tired. My head is need up. Yeah, I gotta. Oh, this is crazy. There we go. Let me see. Let me sync a look up there real quick. No, you look extra tall. All right, but good morning, everybody. Yes, what's going on? DJ Tyrone, what's good? As we get everybody in here, let me get our topics for this week in here real quick. Kubi Crabs. Plaza Couture, what's good? She's out in the motherland doing her thing back to back. Pin comment, there we go. Alright, there we go, we're good now. Alright, good morning everybody. I wish I could wave to everybody on the app, but I'm gonna make sure that let me just get our angles and make sure everybody's straight. See, my telling me this stuff, my bad. There we go. In the meantime, between time, you might help me a little bit. Good morning, Plaza Couture. All right, let's get everybody in here.
Let's tighten the...
Yeah, there we go. Let's see if we can get that going in the meantime. But yes, YouTube family, if you're in here, make sure you click that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Yeah, that's right. There we go. My bad. We're just going to sort that out. But anyways, if you want the best shot, the best quality, go to YouTube right now. You can see us right now, Motivation Mondays live. We're going to get in today's topic. Cultureland Fest was good. It's a big festival coming up. But anyways, Max, how was your weekend? Yeah, we're good.
My weekend was... wasn't too much eventful. I didn't get a chance to do some of the things I wanted to do. But, nevertheless, healthy and well, doing better than I was.
Okay, good. Yeah. I had actually a crazy eventful weekend. What did we do? We went to enough happened. Last night we had the Hoop Queens final. Had Sundance, Detroit, back to back. Really no sleep, but you're on the grind like I was. The marathon continues, so you gotta keep going.
Can't complain when things are going well, when you're being productive.
Yeah, I need more weekends like this. I'll be life will be better. But yes, let's get into it. As you know, top of the morning, Monday. We picked Monday because in the world, the stats. We actually had the stats when it comes to how people look at Mondays.
Yeah, Mondays is where we have people going from the weekend and being in a high. They said the highest rate of heart attacks happen Monday morning, right? Just the stress, that we deal with on Mondays, It's just long week, looking forward to a job that you may or may not like. Just all these things add on to Mondays specifically being one of the worst days of the week.
But at the end of the day, if you can get on the right path with watching platforms like this, reading certain books, audio books, then you're able to switch it around because the world, they like to use that phrase, thank God it's Friday. Mm-hmm. Or switching that to thank God it's Monday. Yep. But when you wake up on a Monday, top of the week, you're ready. You're ready for the week. You're ready to attack the day.
Appreciation, making your worst day your best day, so you can have the best life. Have the life that you plan to live.
And why it's so important to be disciplined and have like a routine on how you do your things, because if you can start off the week on the right, stepping a note, or if you can start the week on the right foot, boom, you can have the rest of the week can really go good for you.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. Like, when you start out something with a momentum, when things starts to roll in your favor, like, you heard me say this, the snowball effect. It's difficult to stop the snowball. It's easy to stop the snowball while it's at the top of the hill, but when it's halfway and it's coming, it's probably be bigger and moving faster beyond any forces that's in front of you. So it's always positive that you want to start out your Mondays on the upside, start out with full force, full of passion, full of purpose, so that anything comes towards you in the middle of the week, you have all the right tools and all the right momentum to overcome it.
That was a good analogy right there with the snowball. I actually had to put I put myself on that. I'm like, oh shit, this is true. But you ever been skiing before or skateboarding?
No, if I have to think about it, probably didn't, because those are some of the things that you actually remember. No, I'm not a winter guy.
Say less. I haven't either though, so maybe that's a little something. A motivation Monday field trip, get the gang going. But yes, let's get into our topics as everybody gets in here. Yes, TMC. Brittany, what's good, girl? Tipsy, DJ, what's good, everybody? As you guys come in, like I always say, make sure you send us out to 5 people. Click the arrow button, send this out. This Motivation Monday. That's all you gotta write. Motivation Mondays. And 9 out of 10, when people see that word, trust me, somebody's out there looking for that motivation. And there's somebody out there that is looking for this information that you can help by sending it to them, referring it to them. And we appreciate all of that as well too. So let's get into it. Episode 39 topics: failure to success. Then we're gonna talk about the importance of a support system. So failure to success, we have 2 things right there. We have failure and we have success. Let's get into the definition of both, and then we'll break down how each plays a role into one another.
Well, my definition of failure is failing to do the necessary things that you need to do, right? And failure does not happen overnight. That's what my definition of failure is. And my definition of success is doing what you know that you have to do on a consistent basis, right? It's not something that's tangible where I could say if you reach it, you're successful. And often or not, failure is actually disguised as in a destination. They're both kind of more like a destination, but one thing that both do not happen overnight. That's what I gotta say. They do not happen overnight. You cannot achieve nothing meaningful overnight, and you do not fail overnight. It's the consistent neglect is why you failed, and also is the consistent discipline action is why you end up being successful or succeed.
So, for instance, let's say somebody from a child, like from middle school or like from elementary, is just, because they used to give us these report cards, and if you want to know something about somebody, go see the report cards that they got in middle school. I mean, they can tell you a little bit. I think 9 out of 10, most of them are correct.
I mean, I have my own personal stance on the school system about how they mark students, and is that really a reflection of one's ability or capabilities, I should say. And we're not gonna get into that. I'm not here to turn on the whole school system, but once again, I mean, to add on to it, you fail once you stop, right? So going through something just means, if you fail, it simply just means find another way. Right, find another way. The destination of failure is the minute that you stop and it's over for you. You can no longer go back and do the things that you want to do. So to me, failing, you use the term, you're talking about school. So when you get an F, it's not, we don't call it you failed the course. Just say, it stands for find another way to understand this method. And the grading system, we all know some of the school system is biased and whatnot, but we don't want to get into all of that. But like I just said, when it comes to failure to success, failing is when you decide that this is the end. I'm no longer pursuing what it is that I want for myself.
Shout out to my guy Kulu, my New Jersey people. Dams, what's good? Top of the morning. Kulu, send this out to the whole CF family. Top of the morning. That's my NJ family. Now, talking about failure and success. it's so easy to achieve success and then drop down and get to failure. Same way how it's so easy to, you know, it's so easy for failure to come to you, but you can overcome that by success. Everything can change.
Well, it can always change. It's always difficult. When you reach a level of success, you also start to get comfortable. I mean, you want to celebrate your wins, but like I just said, you heard this before. When the flower starts to grow and you start to flourish, the weed starts to grow. At the same time, start to eat at your hard work earned new destination. So, of course, you know, it's easy for things to start to go bad once you're at the top or once you reach a place that you want to be, but it's much more difficult for things to go well once you're at the bottom. So it's one of those things that you really gotta refine your tools. You really gotta constantly work on yourself, work on being better than who you were yesterday, right? Because like I just said, failure does not happen overnight, right? Your decision, why you're in the position that you are in today, is not because of something that you did last night, right? It's the continuous pursuit. Is the action, deliberate action each and every day, right? You fail to make that call the first week. You fail to do a follow-up email. You fail to post on your page. You fail to do the marketing. You fail to go meet people that will help put your business where it is. That's the reason why your business has failed. It's not because you didn't get sales last night, right? It's all these things that you neglect throughout over time. And that's the exact same thing with life. If you're in a place where you do not want to be, it's not the decision that you made last night, it's the constant neglect. And we could trace it back and we could actually look into exactly why you find yourself where you are today.
Now, if a lot of my States guys are coming in. There we go. Jay Batman, New Jersey, New York is in the building. Now, Jay, I'm going to call you after this as well too, because we got to talk about Caribana. But I want to talk about the fact that if you're in a place of neglect, like, you know the things you need to do, but you're not doing it because you're in a bad place, what are some of the steps to help you get out of that, to get back into a positive routine to help you build or gain to the road to success?
Well, the first thing is appreciation, right? When things go wrong, we tend to point out all the negative things, right? And negative attracts negative. It's difficult to see the light when you turn out the light, literally, right? And I mean, through the darkest room is where you see it. In the darkest room, the little light that shines is really bright. In other sense, if you think about it, a lighter could light a room if it's dark, but it won't light out when it's outside. So it's kind of things that when you're in a dark place, the little light means something. So the first thing is appreciation, right? Appreciation that your problems, the circumstances that you're in, and that you do everything in your capability and you take full responsibility to get out of it. Right? So those are the things, like appreciate your shortcomings, appreciate your difficulties, is building you to be a better person. And then from there on is little step at a time, because you're not going to get there overnight. Just like you didn't get to where you are now overnight, right? So it's like, take the little steps, right? And I say this all the time, the first step might not be meaningful. It might not be so glorious where you feel like this is the best thing that ever happened to me. Right? If it might be, like I use this all the time, is that if it might be you having the attitude, the mindset and goals to maybe want to go to the gym and lose weight, the chance of you getting up and going to the gym and losing that 10 pounds in the first week is very unlikely, right? So it's about production. By production is the little increment steps that we take each and every day. And that's maybe just getting up, going for that walk. Now, that walk in itself is not going to make you lose 10 pounds or even maybe 1 pound, but it's the idea that I got up and I did something more than what I was yesterday. And through those increment improvements, little by little, we end up getting to the place that we want to be.
I love that. I got a comment. Accountability is big in owning or running your own business for me, personally. And we gotta hold each other accountable, not even each other, ourselves.
Yo, you gotta hold yourself at a higher standard than anybody else expect from you, right? Because often or not, we're so quick to point the fingers at other people when things go wrong, but we never point the finger at ourselves. And even the greatest, so there's two sides, all right? There's the bottom, where people blame everybody for their circumstances and shortcomings for everything that ever happened to them. There's the other side of blaming yourself for everything that ever happens to you, which it could be self-defeating eventually, but also better yet, take responsibilities for what you allow others to do to you. I'm not just talking about boundaries. When you're running a business, the fact that you created a team, take full responsibility. If your team failed to produce what it is that you wanted to produce or get engaged, be responsible for you not following up. It's easy to sit back and say, the reason why I'm not here because so-and-so didn't do their part, right? Take responsibility and say, the reason why we're not here because I didn't help so-and-so do their part. It's not so-and-so's fault, right? Because we all have our reasons why we didn't do what it is that we need to do, right? And it's valid. It may not be valid to you, but it may be valid to them, right? So there's always a great debate. What's a bigger lie to you or to one other, right? You know? I seen this the other day. I just wanted to mention is that the term that's trending now is if they could, they would. Right? So it's kind of became a thing, a catchphrase now. If he could, he would, or if she could, he would, and then make it seem like the person that wants him. And then somebody said, that's not the case because look at your life. There's things that you want to do, but you don't even do. So we're so quick to judge and say if so-and-so could, they would. But yeah, when we don't hold ourselves at a higher standard, we hold other people accountable, hold people to come through for us, but we don't come through for ourselves.
And you know, it's crazy. It's so easy to point the fingers, but when you point the fingers, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you.
Exactly. We all have reasons. We all have things. So accountability is huge. Accountability. Take full responsibility for everything that happens to you, good or bad. Take full responsibility. People parade around when things go well for them and say they're self-made and this is the best thing that ever happened to them. But the minute things go wrong, it's so-and-so's fault. It's the circumstances and why we're here. Why is that is because humans don't like taking accountability for themselves.
And as we're talking about phrases, you know, people always, I hear these terms as well a lot, whereas people will be talking about, you know, people are preying down on my success. People want to see me fail. I want to hear your take on those type of sayings. Because, you know, when it's crazy, it's so easy to say, but are you digging in deep to see the root of the problem or the core of the problem to see?
So I think it's more kind of like energy. Like I just said, the world is negative. There are people that are so miserable they hate to see you be in a place better than them, especially when they know you. Why? I think the main reason because it's the sign. It tells them that it's what they fear most. It's kind of responsible, like this is what you could have been, this is what you want for yourself, but you're not that. So although it's possible for somebody, you're making all the excuses why it's not working for you. So of course they want to drag you down. They don't want to see your business successful because that goes to show that it's possible for them. They don't want you to post the idea of working hard, doing all the things that you need to do, because then they know why they're not where they need to be. Right, so of course they want to drag you in that dark place, right? They want to drag you in that dark place, and then also on self, I think it's more so that we got to start realizing the kind of energy that we put out, right? You know, humility is key in succeeding in everything, right? It's not that things are going well for you, I gotta shout in everybody's face and show it up, because it's not the same for everybody. I'm not saying that dim down your lights or turn off your light so it doesn't bother people, but I'm saying if your objective of you reaching goal is to rub it in other people's face, is to tell the world how much you're better at them, I believe in energy. And I think things will never go well for you in that. So it's two sides. There are people that are in a dark place that wish that your light don't even come on. And then if you just want your light to be bright so you can shine in other people's face, then also you have difficulties in you accomplishing things for yourself.
And you know, you can literally, like, it's the phrase they say, kill them with success.
Mm-hmm. You know, like I said yesterday, is like the greatest revenge is massive success.
And you know, it's beautiful. Stacy agrees. That's too. Shout out to everybody on our YouTube right now. I encourage everybody to get to our YouTube channel right now, Motivation Mondays Live. We have the chat there. We have the IG Live as well too. So everybody who's coming in, get the reminder, get to YouTube. As soon as you get to YouTube, click that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment. All our people that are watching right now, I want to know where everybody's watching it from. So we have the top chat, the live chat that's in YouTube. So feel free to say, you know, we're all saying good morning. We see the conversation. Make sure you type, let me know who's in there, especially in the YouTube. Now, we talked about the failure side, like how you'll be able to overcome or some of the steps you could take to get back on track to get on that success route. What about the people like that are successful, that have reached success? how do they, in a time like this, in a world like this, especially with everything going on now, let's say you're used to succeeding, everything's good, you can pay your bills, your rent, your mortgage. Now inflation, congratulations as well too. I just seen that homeowners are allowed to increase the rent
it gets kind of tricky.
2.5. When I saw that, I was like, I forgot.
There's a debate. I mean, hey, majority of the people, this is not in there because it's like the capitalists, the landlords are making all the money, and it's kind of difficult to get into this topic when you're the other side. I understand times like these are hard, and rent are getting more increasing, but it's difficult for me to speak on it because I understand, but then people are gonna be like, why don't you charge your tenant less and whatnot? But my mortgage, the points went up. It's not for me to live the life, and it's a thing, and it's a sacrifice that I made. Like, you know what I mean? It's the sacrifice that so many people made, and I'm not. Okay, I'm gonna separate myself. I'm not the big corporation buying $1,000 homes bracketing millions. That's all I could say. For the little properties that I do own, for my hard work, I like to enjoy the fruits of my labor. So I like to exclude myself from the big corporations that are buying up all the properties and increasing. Those are the people you're gonna attack, not our homeowners. So I just want to throw that out there. But like with that saying, like, I mean, if living a successful life was easy, then everybody would be successful, right? So when we talk about people who are already successful that you just mentioned, like I just want to say it again, if living a successful life was easy, everybody would be successful, right? It's hard work, we know. And the thing about people who have basically achieved things, that you have now created the mind frame, your brain has formed that it's possible, because so much people, when you talk about them going from one place to one place, is always the idea that it's not possible. I can't see it happening for me, right? And then it's even difficult for them to even remember when things were going well for them, right? So for the people who have seen success, you want to build that kind of self-esteem, that kind of confidence that I'm able to do it again. I used to be here, I'm no longer there, and I could do anything if I put my mind to it. But it's hard work, because it doesn't get easier, right? It doesn't get easier. New levels, new devils, right? New challenges, new blessings. So these are all some of these things that that you have to do as a person who's already successful. Like I said, if success was easy, I'm sure more people would be successful.
And it's funny to say, because when we're in a time right now where like everything is changing, we're advancing, technology is coming over, taking the world. You gotta adapt. Mm-hmm. We talked. I remember in the beginning of the pandemic, it was like, adapt or perish. And it's time for everybody. We always talk about whether it's learning a new trait or it's educating yourself, because whatever you bring to the table, you gotta come with some value. And nowadays, people are looking for the best. Like, for instance, if you're gonna go pay for something or a service, you're looking for the best type of service.
Yeah, I mean, success is subjective. There's never been a part-time successful person. So you always want the best of the best, right? You always want the best of the best. And in times like these, I just want to add that it's not your circumstance or situation that determines if you're successful or not. Right? It's what you do under these circumstances and situations that will determine if you're successful or not.
I have to repeat that one again. That was a big quote.
It's not your circumstances or situation that determines if you're going to be successful or not. It's up to you when you make most of your circumstances and situations that determine if you're going to be successful or not. It's difficult for everybody, right? We all live on one earth, one planet, right? Some people live in a better place, some people have better circumstances or situation, but I guarantee you, if you broke it down to the minute things, if you broke it down to whatever it is, right? There's somebody that lives in your city, there's somebody that lives in your same household that's going to take these situations and these circumstances and make most of it, right? So it's not, I live in Canada, and if I live in UK, things will be easier. It's not I live in Toronto, and Toronto's rental market is this, and if I live in where's rent cheap nowadays? Who knows? Like, you know what I mean? Who knows that things will be easier, right? It's what you decide to do about the circumstances and situation that you're given.
Thinking about that, they put a list out about the top most expensive cities in Canada, and Mississauga was number 1. We want to make sure our YouTube is still good.
Our YouTube seems to be lagging. We're just getting some reports.
Yeah, let us know if you're chiming in over here. Just let us know, or in the chat. If you're listening to us on YouTube right now, let us know in the chat right now, because on our end it looks like it's lagging, but we want to make sure we're straight. Just make sure everything's good to go. We'll see if we get that comment, but if not, we still have our people on the IG live. And you know, it may get difficult down the road. Like, people don't, I know, bro, success, like, even for instance yesterday, my event, successful. I didn't even get to change clothes probably till like 9 p.m. Running around, switching boots, things going. So yeah, like, there's a lot of work and there's a lot of things you're gonna have to do, and it's gonna get difficult. Things are gonna happen. Like, you could plan for almost everything, and you know, you have a game plan, a layout, and things still go left.
Well, yeah, the road to success is always under construction. Literally. The road to success is like Eglinton West. It's always under construction. Literally.
Longest construction.
It doesn't stop. Because you always got to adapt. You always got to adapt under the circumstances, situations, right? We all have a plan. We all have a plan until life knocks us in the mouth. And then what are you going to do about it? Your great plan that you put together, you had everything all figured out, right? And it could have just been like as small as waking up at 8 a.m. And if that doesn't happen, you're already down -1. What are you going to do about it, right? So the road to success is always under construction. There's always things that will come before you that you got to adapt, you know? But at the same time, don't get it confused. We're planning success with backups, recoils, and safe haze. Meaning, if this go wrong, I got this. Because it distracts you. You lose focus. When you know that there's another alternative, you don't give it your all in what it is that you need to do. So when I say the road to success is always under construction, I literally mean like work on that, continue going, right? When things come wrong, you don't jump off the shit, you don't switch ideas, you don't switch careers, you don't switch. So many people are constantly jumping ship to ship, and eventually you will drown, right? You slip off the edge and you will drown.
And I encourage everybody, as you're talking about that, it's like, because I want to take swimming lessons right now. I just want to be proactive in life. Like, in no matter any situation, I can enhancing my skill sets. And I say that to say that I encourage everybody on this road to success. While, you know, when the construction is taking so long because they're trying to enhance the road or make things better. They're trying to, you know, it can't be the same road that it was 2 years ago or 5 years ago or 10 years. So, you know, if simple pavement, they're trying to, you know, reconstruct that and make that better. What about yourself?
You always gotta work on yourself, right? You gotta develop yourself each and every day, you know? The price of success, of being successful, there is a price. And that price, that payment is due every single day, right? That's the thing. There's no days off when you're trying to be successful. There's a price to be successful, and that payment is due each and every single day, right? Be deliberate. Take responsibility for everything that happens to you.
Shout out to my guy, Young Prince, New York. I don't know, today, New York, New Jersey, you guys are showing love, tapping in straight in the morning. See, Kulu, that one effect. Once you get one person in there, they send it out. Appreciate you, my brother. This is skits as well, too. Now, failure and success. Can you have one without the other?
No. They go hand to hand. Not necessarily to say, I mean, the only way we could measure something, that's why we tell people to set goals, because people refuse to set goals because it points out exactly when they fail. All right? So people live in the middle. Like, I just want to say, like, people just live as is and not never really identify, never really pointed it out for what it is that they want, because if they don't get that, it says to them that they have failed. So you cannot have one without the other. On your way to success, there are going to be times where you feel like you failed, right? And the reason why we want to succeed so bad, because most people know what it's like to be a failure, what it's like to not have what it is that you want, right?
And you know, usually, like, I remember there's a quote that they always talk about. It's people who don't like asking for stuff are the, like, I forgot. I'm trying to see if I can remember the exact. People who don't like asking for stuff are the. I gotta get that quote so I don't missay it. But it's talking about usually the people who go after stuff are the people who don't like asking for stuff because they know what they want out of this life. And if you don't like asking people or getting that feeling like if you need something you can't get it yourself, you're determined enough to get things done.
Yeah, but which makes total sense, because we know that the key to success is dedication of lifelong learning, right? Meaning that you gotta constantly adjust, learn something new. Because if you had it all figured out, you'll be where it is that you need to be, right? So you have to constantly break down all barriers, not feel like you need somebody to get to where it is that you need to be, right? So it's in everything. Success is found in our daily routine, what we do each and every single day. That's what's gonna help us get to where it is that we need to be.
Well said. Shout out my guy, Famous Face, as well. To everybody join too. If you join in and I never shouted you out, sometimes the names just come and I'm looking at the screen or looking at YouTube. So I encourage everybody to be on our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do. If you are now joining us in YouTube, make sure you click that like button as soon as you get in there. And I wanna use this time to it's 11:09, so I know it's about to be 11:10, and we're gonna get into our affirmation at 11:11. But you guys have your questions ready. Put them in the question box. Get ready to ask them. Also, YouTube, same thing. If you have any questions based on what we're talking about with failure and success, because I think this is you're correct. I remember asking, are these topics going to be enough? And already from the conversation and where it's going, there's a lot that comes with failure and success. And you owe it to yourself. You literally owe it to yourself.
You have to.
Like,
you're responsible for yourself. Nobody's gonna come save you. Live your life like you're the superhero in your movie. No excuses. No group thing. No policy. No. Like, nobody's really gonna come save you. Nobody's gonna come save you. Everybody have their own agenda. Everybody knows what success looks like to them, and you cannot wait for somebody else to take you to a place that you want to be. Right? They might be going the same direction, but it's a different destination.
And everybody's path is different. Every single individual's path is different. We all are unique in our own way. And that's the beauty of life and the beauty of just being a human being. The ability to change, the ability to, do what's best for you and to conquer your mind, conquer that day, conquer literally what you say you're gonna do, and be a man, be a woman of your word, literally. And it can get difficult, but this is why we're here, to remind everybody. And I like that we got back to our affirmations, putting them up, and we're seeing the feedback.
11:11.
So let's get into our affirmation. Our affirmation of the day today is, I have the talent, skill, and capability to succeed in everything I do. What I do makes a difference in the lives of others. I am sensible, farsighted, and smart. I always achieve the goals I set for myself in my venture. So I'm going to repeat that again, and then we'll break it down. I have the talent, skill, and capability to succeed in everything I do. What I do makes a difference in the lives of others. I am sensible, farsighted, and smart. I always achieve the goals I set for myself in my venture. I like that. I'm going to go in the mirror and say that one again. Let's break that down for people.
Well, it speaks for itself. I like the term I, taking full responsibility. Your skill and the things that you know that you want to do. You're farsighted, meaning you see things clear and you're gonna do everything that is reasonable. What is smart? Earlier we talked about the school system measuring our skills and abilities. What is smart to you? You have the tools and the skill sets to do what it is that you want to do, and just setting goals and achieving goals. Right? Don't let your mouth overload your back. Don't let your mouth overload your back. See your future before it exists and take all the necessary things. That's how you set goals, and that's how you end up achieving goals.
Literally, and there's one, as we were talking about it earlier, we were talking about make sure you don't get comfortable, because it's easy to gain a little success or get successful at something, and then you feel like, all right, I'm good, I got this, is what I wanted, and now I'm chilling. And I don't think that works in this world. It don't work like that. It don't work in society like that.
Nah, you can never take your foot off the pedal. You can never take a foot off your pedal. And we inspire most through action. And if you become successful in one area of your life, you become influential in areas of life. I'm gonna say it again. If you become successful in one area of your life, you become influential in most areas of life. Because like I said, people are looking for the answers, right? And people will look at you and say, you have it figured out. You have done something that they're trying to figure out and do for themselves.
And you always talk about, when we have conversations, you're talking about when it comes to like when people are giving advice, like if they don't have a solution for it, then, usually like that's not the people you should be taking advice from.
Well, yeah, people are always quick to critique. Earlier at the beginning of the show, I talked about how we have those people who in a dark place want to drag you down, right? They say all the wrong things with your idea and your business won't work, and I already tried that and this, that. So they tried and it didn't work. So what's the follow-up? Did you try something else, right? Because we're already hard on ourselves as it is. It'll be much more difficult to have any other external factors adding towards what it is that we're already battling through. So like I said, be mindful of people that come in your life and want to tell you all the things that you should or should do and how things won't work. All right, cool, I understand. You're helping me out. Now help me figure it out, what it is that's going to work. You said this won't work out. Have you figured out the formula for me for things to work out in my favor?
And life happens. Like it's so funny. I always see people on Twitter talking about life is life. I don't know. Everyone just started. It became a thing where everything is doing what it is, and you can look at it in two ways. And you talked about it earlier, where it's talking about taking full accountability, and it's crazy because I got a shout out to my guy Wiggins. His manager is calling me right now, but I'm gonna send him the live, let him know. And it's like that. It's like he just won an NBA championship, and it's funny. I FaceTimed them while they were at the parade, and I'm thinking about how he got here. Like now I'm remembering the Vaughn days when he was just in middle school, and we were talking about this kid who was a top prospect. Then when he went to high school in the States, then when he went to college at Kansas, then when he got drafted, went number 1, and things were. So I guess that phone call just did that. But things were still not looking good for him in terms of how the media were portraying him, and now they have to eat their words now that he was able to get in a different environment. And sometimes I say that to say you gotta switch your environment. Sometimes you gotta switch it. It could be the people around you,
and that's what I want to add. The key to being successful is flexibility, right? That you gotta be able to be flexible to maneuver, because you're trying to figure something out.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, you're trying to be in a place that you haven't been before.
Make sure we mute that one. Yeah,
Yes.
All right, good.
Yes. You're trying to be. Sorry, we're just getting the feedback real quick.
I'm gonna have to do it the other way then.
Yes. You're trying to be in a place that you haven't been before. So you gotta be flexible. You gotta adapt. You gotta know that things may not go always according to plan. Right? Doesn't mean go with alternative plan, but meaning be flexible. That you're allowed obstacles to come your way, but you do the necessary things to get over those obstacles. And and eventually you will be successful. You will get to the place, and true friends will rejoice in your success. Allow them to enjoy them with you.
Facts. And as you say that, shout out to my homegirl Chelsea. She literally told me that yesterday because she could see that I was at the event, like event planning, and when your event comes and making sure, because everybody is good, because all I care about at that moment is customer satisfaction. I gotta make sure you're good, people are good. And when things are going left, she's like, listen, you just gotta learn from it, look at it, and keep it moving on to the next one. Don't dwell too much into what's going wrong. Look at what's going good. Everybody's here having a good time. No one even knows about the little, because the thing with our people, sometimes they become last minute, and then for some reason boots are coming out of nowhere. Boots show up at the same time. You're oversold in boots, and you're looking like, how? We just put everything on paper. We just made sure we wrote down everything. How did this happen? But things can happen. But I appreciate my people who hold me down, because when she said that to me, it reassured me, like, yeah, all right, everything's good. I'm just overreacting right now. I'm cool. Let me go change and let's enjoy the vibe.
Shout out our friends and our family that constantly give us that support, that acknowledge the hard work that we do, and without needing that reminder, because sometimes we forget ourselves and we get so distracted with what's going on. We just need people to bring us back down to earth, not those people who's gonna push us out more and make things harder than it is already. So learn to appreciate when you have those kind of people in your corner.
And you know, it's the same thing. Making sure you give others your flowers. And you know, shout out my guy Soul by Aneem as well too. You know, gave me a earlier before the pandemic. We had a great brand partnership going on with what we were doing with his the car services on the selling side. But our next topic, and if anybody has any questions about what we're talking about when it comes to failure to success, please feel free to use the question box. Shoot your question on YouTube. You know, I see more people joining us as well too. You know, feel free to start that conversation so we can engage in healthy conversations like we're having this morning. But I'm gonna get to our last one, the importance of a support system.
And that was just the perfect segues about having the people in your corner that brings us down to earth. Like, we need that support system. We need that scaffold, right? When you're trying to figure yourself out, things might be rocky. You need people that are, what do you call them? The cookie cutters. Like, you know, they help you shape into what it is that you want to be, right? They'll give you all the necessary things. And this doesn't mean giving you a thumbs up even when you're wrong, meaning I stand by you right or wrong, and I'm gonna help you figure it out. I'm gonna help you get on the right track. So you need that support system, right? And it's not somebody walking with you every step of the way to do everything with you. It could just be people just checking in. And you don't need that from one person, right? Ideally, we don't want too many, what I should say, connections. It makes much things more complex, but we do want the right people for the right things, right? If you have somebody that could advise you how to just conduct yourself spiritually, right? How you are, know your temperament, right? People that deal with you emotionally, spiritually, physically, you need all of that, right? You need that family support. You need a sense of belonging, right? You got to be able to feel that you exist, to actually want to prove yourself, to become better than who you were.
And I like that. That was well said, because when you can appreciate life, 10 out of 10, you'll do what is necessary.
Yeah. Well, it's like one of those kind of like positive reinforcement. If you want to get somebody to do more of the things that you expect from them, is when they do that act, encourage them, give them praise, right? We all want praises. So it's kind of like, if we feel good about ourselves and we're constantly, people are blowing fire into us, positive fire, by the way, positive fire into us to do more, to be bigger than who we are. We're going to constantly want to associate with those people, and they'll help us get to where it is we need to be.
And if you don't have those people, it's always easy to reshuffle. You can always reshuffle things.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to connect. Time and time again, I know people are embarrassed, scared. Like I said, when you come to a safe place like this, you have like-minded people, you have people that share interests, you know. Just, even if you guys don't have, remember, the same destination, but you might be going in the same direction, and that direction being success, right? Being, pursuit of happiness is not an actual destination. It's about the process, being happy with what you have while you're on your way to go get more than what you have. That's what happiness is all about. But what you want is those people that are gonna support you, understand your journey, understand the process.
And you know, even shout out to YouTube. I love, that's why I always encourage everybody, if you're on YouTube, make sure you turn on post notifications. It makes everything easier. Like, you know, I saw an episode I know I'm gonna have to go watch and study from one of the African legends in the music industry that just, you know, it popped up earlier when I checked to make sure to see what the notification. So I'm excited. If you use the platform correctly to your benefit, you'll be able to gain. And you know, sometimes I educate it could be through watching an interview, reading a book, audio book, or even just replaying Motivation Mondays, literally, and you know, see what we're talking about, and having the humility to understand and know that, you know, we gotta fight this fight and keep going. You know, we're on the road to success.
There's so many tools available to us, and we gotta make most of it. The world is designed for you, right? Everything that you're looking for, somebody have answers for it, and you might be the missing piece while you and somebody else reach the top up of the mountain that you think is impossible for you.
Just like that. and you know, it's like climbing a ladder. You know, you got to step by step. You know, you're not just gonna run up a ladder. You're not gonna just, you know, even if you get in the elevator, there's certain things you got to do to go up. You don't just get in the elevator and then, you know, boom. We have the cars, the electronic cars, and the cars that are driving yourself Teslas, but there's things you got to do to be able to even get that going or to be in that position. So, you know, with that being said, it's all up to you, and we preach and we you know, we share this message, and we're so key on letting everybody know it starts with you. It's all up to you, and we believe in you, and you should believe in yourself as well too. Nobody believes in you. I believe in you, because at the end of the day, if you have the time to take in this knowledge or take in this information, or even, you know, it's so easy to get caught up on social media. So easy to get caught up on social media. So if you're using the platform in a positive light or a positive way to make sure you gain some knowledge or information, kudos to you. You know, it's top of the morning Monday, and why not?
But that's where it starts. The beginning of the week is where it starts. You know, you gotta design the week that you want to have. You gotta realize that things will come your way. Things are gonna be much tougher and bigger than you. And that's what we talk about support system. You gotta realize that through the pursuit of success, you're gonna encounter or come across failure. You know, you need that support system. You need that spiritual healing. You need that emotional boost of bringing up the best out of you.
Literally, shout out to my homegirl, my Nigerian sister, Mahara. She's over there, you know, making sure she amplifies the you know, the voices of the youth, and she's doing a lot of great work in the community. Seen her doing some great work in the government, Six Buzz, out there in the community, you know, as a leader, as a voice, as a queen. So kudos to you for chiming in and dropping that comment as well too, because I know you're a busy person and, you know, you use your time wisely. So if I see you in here, then I know we're doing something good. So kudos to you and everybody else that's out in the community. I believe next week we'll have one of the our special guests who will be the executive director from the Toronto Youth Cabinet, who's actually about to be a founder of one of the grant sections of the city of Toronto. So we're bringing in him in. Gotta confirm that next week, but if we confirm that, I mean, there's a lot of great people in the community doing their thing. And, you know, love and respect to you as well too. If you haven't met, I gotta connect you guys to Max and yourselves as well too, because you guys are doing big things, and I know that we can use Max's voice and the knowledge to amplify the youth everywhere across the GTA and more. So I definitely want to make that connect, and I appreciate you, and appreciate, you know, today we're talking about giving people their flowers and letting people know, but shout out to you, shout out to everybody that's in here, shout out to everybody that's on the YouTube. That if you're just joining us, I always encourage people, if you chime in and you missed a little bit of the earlier conversation, make sure that, you know, you replay it and start it over and make time. My gym guy, he messaged me and he let me know, yo, we're gonna be tuned into the gym. Wasn't able to make it today, but I didn't want to do that to myself. I didn't want to overdo my, like, you know, I didn't
Get to rest, the important of rest.
You know?
Sometimes you need that. You need that energy to reboost so you could give it all you got. And that's part of it. And that's part of being successful. Don't work and work, you know. Don't run just in circles. You get burned out. Go back, give it all you got.
And you know, I can't wait to catch up. I gotta catch up on rest big time, so I can't wait to do that today. But as long as I got this out of my way, and I do a couple things I gotta double check with my manager Abby's tapped in as well too, send some invoices and little things like that, and then recuperate from last night, and then we're good to go. But you know, this is Motivation Monday, week 39. Earlier on we were talking about failure to success, and then right now we're just breaking down the importance of a support system. Now, if you don't have a support system, what are the best ways to look at either like enhancing that or making that happen for you, or like being truthful with the people who you consider to be your support system that aren't holding up to the standard?
But don't hold no malice intent. Don't have any kind of resentment. Like I just said, we're so quick to judge and blame people for their shortcomings as being who they are, but we don't hold ourselves to the same higher standard. Like I just said, a platform like this, going into a space where you find interested in connecting with the right people. And if that space doesn't exist, create that space. You're not the only one with the same interest, same temperament. I mean, where we at 7.5 billion people and climbing. I stopped for a sec because they said their population is going to decline. I'm just ahead of myself. But yes, as we stand right now, I believe we're 7.6, 7.5. And with that, if you truly believe that you're the only one with interest in something, I don't think so, right? So create that space if you don't have. Connect with the right people, right? Do platforms like this. I encourage people all the time, when you come in the space, drop your business, what it is that you do, what it is that you got to offer. Somebody in here is also looking for that light, right? It's also looking for that light. And don't be so caught up if your best friend don't support you, right? For whatever it is that's going on, don't judge them. Understand that people go through things as they get older, right? That your family don't understand what it is that you're trying to do for yourself, right? And sometimes we just lack that communication. We feel a way about a situation, we don't speak on it, and we hold it as a grudge, and which create darkness in us. And in our post from last week, we talked about what darkness does. It doesn't make us get ahead, right? It doesn't make us get ahead. Don't plan to get even, plan to get ahead.
Literally, well said. And I think shout to, got a couple new followers coming in, and I know it literally just joined, heard that quote. So however you got in here, kudos to you, my guy. And we welcome everybody. Mars forever, I like that. That's my guy. Welcome. You coming at the end, but you can replay that and get the knowledge. Top 5 Ali, my guy as well too. I like the support, because I remember last week, Top 5 Ali, you were in our YouTube, but you're making sure, if you're on the road, you're catching it on IG. And let me see what my sister said. Nobody can represent you better than you. Represent your own self. I always say this. We are different beings. Don't plan to get even, plan to get ahead, like you said.
Don't plan to get even, plan to get ahead. If you plan to get even, I'm sorry, you're lost. And as I said, you're going to look up and you're going to be in a darker place than you were. And the person that you were worried sort about, do not give a heck about it. They're moving on to destroy somebody else's life, by the way. So you could come play these games, or you could just elevate and become a better person and separate yourself from these people who want to bring you to this dark place. You're better than that. Don't plan to get even, plan to get ahead.
And I see
the best revenge is massive success.
Not just success, massive. We're doing it big, just like the guy said, we're doing it big this year. And I see we just got a couple new followers, like 4 back to back to back. So I encourage you guys, if you're just joining us and you're hearing about Motivation Mondays, whether somebody sent you the live or somebody texted you, yo, check out Motivation Mondays, make sure you click the link tree in our bio. That will bring you to our YouTube. That will bring you to our Spotify, our iTunes. We have a Discord as well too. So make sure you do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Those 4 people that just followed us right now, make sure, because everything is on there. Skim through, go all the way to the bottom, see some of the short clips. There's some great things that that we've put out there to the community that we want everybody to be able to get access to. So kudos to you. And I don't know whoever was sending out everybody, because that was back to back to back. So kudos to you. And that wraps up episode 39. Next week will be episode 40. This is available on all streaming platforms immediately after this episode, and you'll be able to watch or play on YouTube. So with that being said, don't get even, get ahead. That's the quote of the day.
Don't get even, get ahead. Don't trust your memory. Go back. Get the most out of your day. Let's have a positive like we always do. If things started going bad for you already, recruit. That's not who you are. It's a temporary situation. It doesn't define who you are. Just because you had a bad Monday morning, that doesn't determine what your Monday afternoon is going to be like, right? You can't go back in time. You can't even go back 5 minutes ago and change what it is that happened. What you can do is change your projected what's going to happen that 5 minutes from now, right?